Meet Marcia DeVicque, a quintessential Galiano Islander.
I'm a glass worker, I'm a farmer, I'm a shepherd, but that sort of overlaps. I'm a gardener, definitely. I'm one of the marriage commissioners on Galiano Island, that just, I do books for people. We rent a cabin, we have a cabin that people come and stay at our farm, so that's kind of cool for people coming from the city.
And this multi-talented gal is not alone.
Everybody on the islands lives like this. Nobody has just one job. Like very few people just are one thing. We all do many, many things.
Marcia wasn't always a Galiano resident. This Victoria native had a heritage home, raised 5 kids on her own, and had a career as an artist and an instructor.
I'd always loved light and I'd always loved color. So glass became sort of my salvation, and I started doing stained glass. And from there it grew. I spent many years teaching stained glass and working in stained glass.
Marcia's career as an artist took her from stained glass to casting to a whole new way of working with glass, an ancient technique called warm glass.
History lesson, but it's everything from 1100 degrees to 2000 degrees. So we're totally molten over 2000, and by 1100 degrees, the glass starts to move. It's the oldest form of glasswork on the planet. It's what the Phoenicians and the Egyptians were doing pre-blowpipe. When you look around here, people say to me, how do you do this? And I always say, can we talk about one piece? Because there's many, many, many different things that can happen in that temperature range.
But it wasn't until she moved to Galiano that she was able to create an enchanting garden studio that truly showcases her unique style of glasswork. Marcia's journey to island life didn't begin with her art. It began when she fell madly in love.
I met a man from way in my past, and we sort of had a whirlwind romance, fell in love. He actually brought me to Galiano. I'd never been here before. He got a job here driving the school bus, so that was kind of crazy. And so he was here before I was, but we were doing, all over the place. And then when we sold our house in the city, we bought the farm. And so that became our other, whole other life.
Oh, you're such a beautiful. Yesterday was only her first day out in the big world, so she's just new.
Marcia spends her winters shepherding her lambs, farming her chickens, working on her glass, and catering to her guests who stay at her bed and breakfast.
And then in the summertime, I chat to people while I'm doing the garden upside down. I'm a spoiled brat. I live in paradise. I get to do what I want to do. I meet people from all over the world. It doesn't get much better.
Whether you're looking at Marcia's jewelry in her simple West Coast studio, or wandering the gardens to see how the light catches one of her large-scale pieces, a visit here is truly an escape from the ordinary.
Nature's winning. I'm losing.
It's hard to decide what's more spectacular, the Glassworks studio, which is located mid-island, or her farm that's at the very tip of North Galiano.
People come from Paris or New York, and they sit in the garden sometimes 5 hours, and they just watch, because the birds and the butterflies, we take for granted so much of what is natural to all of us, our trees. Like people, and so much of the world is just in awe of our trees.
If you're ever on Galiano Island and you need a marriage commissioner, or a shepherd, or a place to stay, or a studio to visit, or some fresh farm eggs, or some sheep's wool, well, now you know who to call. From Galiano, I'm Karen Elgisman.